What is going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back with a brand new episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last time we were on, we had just started up Chapter 7, and we had a very interesting intro. We found out the kind of nature of what's going on here. Each chapter we've been playing is something called a fragment, a collection of memories, as the mysterious entity referred to it, of previous worlds. And that's what they are. Each chapter is a different fragment, and we can each view them, separately. And this mysterious entity seems like to be embodying Rika, but not Rika herself, but some entity that embodies Rika as a interesting existence. And at first I thought this entity was the creator of this root, but at the same time it doesn't know everything. It seems like to have the level of knowledge as we do as the viewer of what has happened in the previous 6 chapters. And it doesn't know everything about how this world works, but it's definitely above where you are characters, as it's something more grand. And it's so interesting how it feels like in this game, what I've come to realize is that every character there doesn't seem to be a character that knows more than the others. Sure, they have more access to, information, but it feels like there's not a character that knows what's really happening in Hinazawa, which is, very interesting. Not even this extra dimensional, spirit, godlike thing, or whatever it is, doesn't even know what's happening either. It's simply in this type of kind of time loop, sort of more parallel universe time loop sort of thing. Like, they all happened in June of 1983, and it's kind of a time loop, but there's still different outcomes to each thing. And even that thing itself, a godlike entity, doesn't know what's happening in Hinazawa. It doesn't know the truth. It's like right next to us and trying to figure out what is really happening in Hinazawa, which is, a cool idea, but the more you think about it, it's kind of horrifying of if no one knows what's happening in Hinazawa, if this spirit, this extra dimensional thing doesn't even know it either, what is causing this? What thing is causing this time loop to keep happening over and over, basically forcing Rika to relive the same June of 1983 over and over and over until one day she, one loop, she survives it. And going on from that, we are in the perspective of Rika herself, and we meet Hanyu, a ghost-like apparition that only Rika can see, that seems to be kind of she, Rika referred to herself as a witch at one point during last episode. So I kind of associate Hanyu with a type of familiar, type of, thing, what typical witches have as a familiar. And she used to be able to move back time in order to give more time to Rika, but she has grown in less and less power, and Rika herself has begun to lose hope over and over after trying to fight against this fate. And we also had our, first proper choice in the game of either telling or not telling Kechi to give the doll to Mion. But what people told me is that it doesn't matter the choice in that moment. Catchy still gives me on the doll. And you know what I find so fascinating about that? Some people will be like, oh, that's kind of a cop-out, but I feel like that hammers home the theme of fate, of being unable to have agency in the world, that fear of not being able to impact anything, that seemingly first choice, no matter what we pick, the same thing, the same outcome still happens. And it's like it just drives home the kind of seeing, not being able to have any agency. And that moves me on to another topic. What I think Higurashi can really work. I mean, it can work as just a regular book series, but I feel like this theme of unable to breaking fate is more impounded in a video game. Let me explain. So, most typical visual novels have like choices in them. You know, little tiny things that like lead to different routes or whatever, different endings and all that. I mean, heck, I have a buddy that really likes choice-based games. He really loves them. And he asked me like, why are you playing a game that gives you no choices? And I wondered about that. I'm like, well, I mean, it's just that's the way it was written. It was just written as a single continuous story. But the last episode, in that comment someone made of, you know, no matter what choice you made, it's still the same outcome. Video games are supposed to give you agency. It's the one type of, you know, media that you're in, that you control, that you feel like you have some impact on the fictional world you're in. You know, no matter what game, FPS, you know, whatever, you have some sort of agency in it. But with this game, you know, the theme of not being able to break fate, of not being able to have any agency at all in a video game. Like, in a video game, you're supposed to have agency. Like, if I did the same theme in like a book, I feel like the theme wouldn't hit home as hard, in my opinion. Because like in a book, yeah, you don't have any agency in the book. You just turn the page and see what happens. But in a video game, you're supposed to have agency. You're supposed to have an impact on the world. But in this game, you're just forced to watch the same loop happen over and over and over again. You know, which puts us into the, you know, shoes of Rika, who's been forced to relive the same June for hundreds of years, seeing the same things play out over and over and over again, and just being unable to do anything about that. And I find that I really like how it, I really like that. It wasn't. It's very interesting to me because another person commented that Higurashi was supposed to have choices in the first place. It was supposed to be like each choice you made would branch off into a different chapter, which is, you know, a cool idea, yes. But with this theme of fate and unable to break it, I feel like it is so much more better this way, of no choices at all. Even choices that, you know, appear to be important, no matter what you choose, it's the same outcome anyway. That feeling of unable to be breaking away. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it was a right decision not to give choice to the player in Higurashi, because it just drives home that horror that not you, not the characters, not a single person can change the fate that is bestowed upon Hinazawa. Nobody can do it. Everyone is lost in this maze of tragedy. Every single person. And we're all just trying to figure out what is truly happening in Himizawa. Well, that's this has been my thesis statement. Oh god. Yeah, if only I worked on English essays, better in high school. Anyway, let's get into the game. Got it. Swore my whoa. Good times of Hoshiro-sama. I was watching TV with Sadako and Hanyu after eating dinner. It was a variety show, and the performers were making the audience laugh. We were laughing too. Now the three of us were enjoying ourselves. In reality, there was only Sadako and me in the room. I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. Sadako can't see her at all. Hanyu responds every time Sadako says anything. Sadako can't hear her, but Hanyu still responds to her when she's in a good mood. It's like she's answering the question asked on TV. You could even compare it to playing house. She started playing this game with other people because she can't communicate with anyone else but me. Hanyu always attends our club meetings and has a good time there too. If she could communicate with my friends, she would have been a good match for us. But I don't want to hurt her feelings by thinking about that. If the story of the miracle when in the old scriptures is true, if it's really Hanyu who performed it, she's someone who has tremendous power long ago. But now she doesn't have any spiritual power. I'm the only one who can even see her. Hanyu has never told me how she lost her power. I just have to assume that her spiritual power diminished over time. There's a legend in the Furude family that says Oshiro-sama will be reborn if a girl is born to the family 7 generations in a row. With my birth, Hanyu was finally able to communicate with a human for the first time in centuries. Does that mean that Oshiro-sama has returned? The villager's image of Oshiro-sama doesn't quite match up with that of Hanyu. Especially when I see her lying on her belly and watching TV with Sadako. That's an interesting question, yeah. Is Hanyu Oshiro-sama? That's a good question. I don't know, there's something deeply just horrifying about these supernatural entities that don't have all the answers. I feel like that's so just deeply unsettling. Ghosts and spirits, they're supposed to have the answers to everything. They've seen the other side. They're supposed to know what happens, but in this game they don't. Not even Hanyu has any answers. All she can do is comfort Rika, really. So it's so horrifying. Of what the hell is happening in Himizawa? What is happening? What is something that nobody can figure out? What the hell is it? Let's continue.
Eh? 確かにそんなことをどこかで聞いたような気もしたが、それってマジだったのか?
This world always has a lot of nice suggestions, but they're mostly out of politeness, right? There's just something you laugh off and reply with that would be nice. But those ideas generally end as jokes, so it's crazy when they turn real.
マジも大マジ。吉郎おじさんも大絶賛。昨日のおもちゃ屋での部活、ゲーム中の暴れっぷりは実に見事だったからね。
レナもあんな遊び方や盛り上がり方があるなんて知らなかったかな。ここだけの話ですけど、私の近くにいた子たち、ケイイチさんと同じ宅で盛り上がりたかったって悔しがってましたのよ。ケイイチは何でも楽しそうに遊ぶことに関しては天才的なのです。
Okay, back in the perspective, catchy. You know, I wasn't just playing around. I was giving my all because I had no choice but to win. I guess we made it look like a lot of fun for the audience, though.
確かにケイちゃんは普段の部活においてもとにかくよく盛り上がってくれますからね。
Excuse me?
監督もケイちゃんがひなみ沢ファイターズに入ってくれたらさぞや盛り上がるだろうって言ってましたし。
Shion, what the hell are you doing here?
言ってましたね。ゆうべ会合の席でも入江先生、前原くんのことをベタ褒めでしたよ。
ケイイチくんは自分で思ってるよりずっと人を楽しくさせる力があるんだよ。
そうかな。
おじさんだって自分の仲間が可愛いからって推薦したわけじゃないよ。ケイちゃんならこの退任にきっと応えられるって思ったから推薦したわけさ。
僕も同じ席にいましたですが、全然反対意見が出なかったのは驚きだったのです。
前原くんは先生が思っているよりもずっと村中で評判なんですね。沖宮界隈でも有名です。先日のひなみ沢ファイターズと沖宮タイタンズの試合でのあの助っ人ぶりはもはや現地では伝説的ですからね。
あれはすごかったですものね。亀田さん目当ての記者の方々も度肝を抜かれてましたよ。
They're talking about that rigged baseball match I set up with Kameda-kun. Public did end up believing that talented pitcher walked me out of fear for my insight. Kameda-kun and I have entered a strange relationship since then, and I really want to not talk about it right now. He really likes those damn
どう
pastries.
かな、ケイイチくん。レナはケイイチくんにはその力があると思うな。みーちゃんだけの推薦で足りないならレナも推薦するよ。
Do what?
ケイイチくんならきっと綿流し実行委員の退任を全うできる。
Oh. Okay then. Higurashi is an annual village festival held in June. It's supposed to be the biggest event in the village. Most of the people living here gather together for it. Since this is a major event, they always organize a committee to plan out the festival a few months in advance. The festival is only 2 weeks away and I just moved to this village. And now they want me to join that committee?
だいたいよ、俺実行委員の仕事なんて知らないから何の役にも立てないぜ。
実行委員なんて堅苦しいのは肩書きだけだよ。ケイちゃんに満場一致でお願いしたい役はね、ズバリ叩き売りオークションの司会なんだよ。
なんだよそれ。
Yeah, what the hell is it? What auction?
バナナでも売らされるのか。
そこは先生から説明します。今年のお祭りでは新しい試みとしてオークション風に寄付品の叩き売りをやろうということになったのです。そこは複雑な事情があってね。町会で寄付品を集めてそれを商品にしてのみんなで参加できる何かをやりたいんだけど、過去の役員会でいろいろ大人の事情があって福引き抽選以外の方法で商品を分配したいってことになったんだよ。早い話が昔ばあさんが癇癪を起こしときながら引っ込みがつかなくなったことがあるわけなんです。ばあさんって自分でトラブっときながらよく後悔してますよね。まあね。まあそんなわけで福引き以外のイベントで 何か楽しく商品を山分けできないかって話になったわけよ。それで出た案が寄付品の叩き売りオークションってわけ。
オークションってなんだか面白そうだね。ひょっとするとものすごく安くいいものが買えるかもしれないし、他の人が高値をつけ合うのを見てるのも楽しいしね。
Look, as long as I get to wear a cowboy hat and have the thickest southern accent you've ever heard, I'm in.
しかも寄付品だから元手はタダ。実行委員会もなかなかお金儲けがお上手ですわね。売り上げは全部冬の鳥海温泉旅行の泡麦茶代になるのです。
Ah, yes, the beer fund. What a noble cause.
古いのです。
フルデさんは泡の出る麦茶はまだまだいけません。
だいたい話は見えてきたが、でもよ、俺はオークションの司会なんかやったことないぜ。
God, I just remembered someone had mentioned back in like one of the after parties how Rika wanted a beer. God, I thought that was just a joke. What fucking the foreshadowing. Yeah, she's more of a wine type of woman.
でも圭一くんならきっとやり遂げられると思うな。売り上げの1割はお小遣いになるとか言われたらものすごい頑張りそう。
まあな、実績に応じて何か得られるってならそりゃ頑張るだろうな。
逆に実績が出なかったらとんでもない罰ゲームが待ってるかもしれませんでしたよ。
ちょっと待て佐藤。なんで俺がそんなリスキーな条件を引き受けなければならないんだ。そもそも俺は依頼されてる立場だってことを忘れるなよ。俺はこう見えてもスケジュール多忙で忙しいんだぜ。そういうのはマネージャーを通してくれたまえ。
どうよケイちゃん、もし何かご褒美がないといけないってんなら内容と条件次第では考えてもいいよ。私もケイちゃんを推薦した以上何としても引き受けてもらいたいと思ってるからね。最大限配慮するよ。
ほう、太っ腹じゃねえか。さーて何がいいかね。
罰ゲームを何にするかというのはよくあるけど、ご褒美は何がいいってのは初めてかもしれないね。言われてみればそうですわね。私たちってつくづく過酷な状況で戦ってますのね。
That's right. The whole purpose of our club activities is to escape the punishments we've come up with. Even if we win, we never get a prize or reward for it.
めったにない美味しい話に圭一が困っていますのです。みーちゃんの方で何か提案できないの？何でもいいよって言われたらかえって思いつかないよね。
そうだね。あ、じゃあこんなとこでどう？エンジェルモートのデザートフェスタの入場券とか。おねえ、ケチくさいこと言わないでドーンと3年分くらいプレゼントしちゃえばいいじゃないですか。
あら、それは豪華ではございませんの。
It seems like, probably due to probability, maybe in this timeline, 2 6s have been rolled on the dice, as Rika would refer to it. 1, Kechi giving the doll to Mion, and 2, Shion upholding the promise to Toshi of protecting Sadako. Maybe. That's what I'm going to guess, because she has the same outfit on as we saw in that credit scene at the end of chapter 5.
確かデザートフェスタのチケットってものすごい購買率で闇取引もされてるんだろ。そんなの3年分なんて本当にいいのかよ。
もちろん成功報酬だよ。盛り上げてくれないとダメだからね。
大丈夫だよ。圭一くんならきっと大盛り上がりになる。
Can get like maybe like $5.
それについては私も同感です。というか、どんなめちゃくちゃな売り工場が飛び出すかかなり楽しみです。
たとえタコの入ってないたこ焼きであっても行列させてしまいそうですものね。
おいおい、さすがにタコなしたこ焼きは無理だろ。
Yeah, that could never happen.
いやいや、ケイちゃんなら見事売りかねないね。
うんうん。小麦粉の味が素朴でヘルシーとか言いそう。
お前ら俺をおだててるのかバカにしてるのか微妙だぞ。
どうですか前原くん。先生もあなたならきっとうまく盛り上げてくれると思います。
G-sensei was also on the committee. She must have backed up Mion's suggestion when she brought my name up at their last meeting.
僕も圭一の口先マジックが見たいのですよ。見た
バナナの叩き売りだってさ、その売り工場の切符の良さに感服して買わせるわけだしね。
前原圭一ワンマンショーでございましたよ。楽しそうですわね。
おいおい、俺はまだ引き受けると言った覚えはないぞ。
大丈夫だよ。圭一くんならできるよ。
ちぇ、レナめ、他人事だと思って気楽に言いやがって。
はあ、そんなつもりじゃないのに。
Principal suddenly opened his mouth.
どうかね前原君。わしも君ならやれると思うぞ。
I don't know, I feel like you'd be a perfect fit, Ketchy. I mean, you've convinced men to do stupider shit. I mean, look at Kameda.
男なら一つみんなの期待に応えてみんかね。
If I had to, I'm sure I could do it. Mion has made me do so many different things for the club, and I've learned a lot from that. Besides, this would be the first time I could get a reward without having to worry about punishment. Should be fun too. This was the first time so many people were counting on me like this. To be honest, it made me pretty happy. Still, I was worried about getting dragged into something that required a lot of work. Couldn't erase that thought from my mind. When I was in Himizawa, people in this village would never do anything to betray me. They genuinely believed that it would do a lot to liven up the festival if I became the host of their auction. I've only been here for a short period of time, but I know that the people here are honest and kind.
よっしゃ、俺も男だぜ。そこまで言われちゃ引き受けないわけにはいかないな。見てろよ、俺がやるからにはドカンと盛り上げてやるぜ。エンジェルモートのチケットを忘れるなよ。3年どころか10年分くらい進呈したくなるくらいに盛り上げてやるぜ。
よく言ってくれたケイちゃん。
Everyone gave me a round of applause. How many times had this happened to my wife? Not once. This is the first time I'd ever been applauded.
しかしよ、よく俺みたいな若造を推薦して町会の人が納得してくれたよな。
There are lots of old people in the village committee. I'm a young guy who only just moved here. I've known for a while that man has a lot of influence locally, but I couldn't believe that everyone in the committee would accept it just like that.
まあ基本的には頭の固い年寄り連中ばっかりですけどね。時代も徐々に変わり始めてるってことです。ひなみ沢もダム戦争に打ち勝って、これからは新しい時代を築き、どんどん栄えさせていかなくちゃならない。だから若者歓迎、よそ者飛び入り大歓迎って風にどんどん意識改革をしていかなくちゃならないんだよ。
圭一は若くてよそ者で、しかも受けがいいので、まさにぴったりなのですよ。
受けがいいね。どうして俺の知名度がそんなに高いのか不思議でならねえぜ。
多分みーちゃんの罰ゲームと密接な関係があると思うかな。
やっぱりそれか
じゃあこれで決まりですね。先生の方から今夜前原くんのご両親に電話でお話ししますので、一応前原くんの方からもご両親にこの度の件を話しておいてください。
Sure, my parents will have no problem with it. They won't have any objections to ways at least. They might ask me why my name was brought up though. Chi-sensei and the principal went back to the teacher's office after the discussion ended. We were in the middle of lunch break at the moment. Chi-sensei and the principal had come along together, and Mion scared me by saying that they all had something to talk to me about. My stomach wasn't digesting my lunch particularly well.
前原さん、聞いてましたよ。すごいじゃないですか。
懲戒から推薦を受けるなんてすごい名誉ですよ。
おう、富田君に岡村君か。そんな名誉なら君らに譲ってもいいぞ。
無理ですよ。前原さんじゃなくちゃ務まらないです。
I realized the whole class was talking about me. They were saying how fun Higurashi was going to be and how high their expectations were for it. I might have taken on a huge responsibility. I need to do my best to succeed at it.
そうだ忘れてた。うちのバッチャがね、いっぱいおはぎを作ったんだよ。学校のみんなにも食べてもらえって持ってこさせられたんだっけ。
Mian clapped her hands as she remembered and took a box out of her bag. She opened the lid, letting us see a bunch of ohagi neatly packed inside.
あらあら、たくさん入っていますのね。クラス全員に食べていただけそうなくらいありますわよ。はう、かわいい、おいしそう。
バッチャはおはぎを作るのが大好きなんですよ。どういうわけか。
宗平が大好きだったのですよ。
ああ、じっちゃが好きだったらしいね。山盛り食べたらしいよ。
じゃあみーちゃんのおばあちゃんにとってはおはぎは亡くなったおじいちゃんを思い出す大切なものなんだね。
そうなの？じっちゃが好きなのって缶詰だと思ってました。
Damn canned food.
シオンは缶詰がダメなんだよね。
あ、そうなの？どうして？
缶詰臭と言いますか、あの独特の鉄臭さがどうも苦手で。
あら、人に嫌がるかぼちゃを無理やり食べさせて好き嫌いはいけないとか言ってる人が随分な話でございますのね。
Yep, that's it. Shion took on Satoshi's final crust. That's good. That makes me feel good inside. That makes me really fucking happy, man.
実はね。
And the damn human flesh incident.
ちょっとね、人が嫌がることを言うなんて最低ですよ。
なんだかわからんが、ミオンが珍しく握ったシオンの弱みらしいな。面白いから普段の恨みを晴らせ。ほれほれ。
The reason why Shion doesn't like canned food must have been something pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny in context, huh? Two sisters battled for a while. Machine gun knee kicks me on launch from close quarters weren't bad, but I don't think she expected Shion to land a capture suplex off of it. Yeah, Shion is the stronger of the two siblings.
お姉に言われるくらいなら自分で言います。 ですね、葛西っていうたちの悪い親父がいましてね。そいつがですね、純粋無垢だった幼い私にですね、缶詰の中にはたまに人間の肉が混じっているとか、とんでもないことを吹き込みやがったせいなんです。
都市伝説にたまにそういうのがあるね。
God damn it, Gasai.
あるある。俺たちのとこでも牛丼の肉は実は犬の肉だとか、ハンバーガーにはミミズの肉が混じってるとか聞いたことあるぜ。
そんな話がありますの？そんなの聞いてしまったら、もう牛丼もハンバーガーも食べられなくなりますわね。
そうなんですよ、さとこ。私はトラウマを負わされた犠牲者なんです。
同情はしますけど、かぼちゃフルコースの恨みと相殺するにはまだだいぶ足りませんわね。さとこは根に持ちすぎなのですよ。僕は美味しくてペロリだったのです。
なんだかよ、そんな話をしてるとさ、このミオンのおはぎにも何か妙なものが混じってそうな気がしてくるよな。
Oh no, there's going to be a pin needle in it.
ほう、確かにこの私が持ってきたおはぎだもんね。中に何の細工もないってのは確かに不用心だよね。
Ohagi that Mion bought. When you consider that, it's only natural to suspect that she probably did something to them. What's going on? I felt like I was forgetting something. But I didn't remember anything that I was forgetting. It was like one of those deja vu moments. I've never been in this situation, but my mind was telling me that I've been there before. Ooh.
どうしたのですか、ケイチ？
いや、なんでもないよ。前にもミオンにおはぎをもらったことがあったような気がしたんだけど、これが初めてだよな。
そうなの？みーちゃん。
いや、これが初めてだと思うな。何かの勘違いじゃない？
私の記憶でもミオンさんが学校におはぎを持ってきたのは今年はこれが初めてのはずでしたよ。
ははん、わかった。おじさんが持ってきたおはぎだもんだから、何か罠があると思って警戒してるんでしょう。そこは威張るとこじゃなくて、日頃のお姉の底を反省すべきとこだと思いますけど。
そうだよな。同じおはぎでもレナとかが作ったおはぎなら絶対そんな風には思わない。レナっておはぎ作るの何気に上手なんだよな。小さいけど丁寧で。
レナ、おはぎなんて作ったことないよ。
Okay, so he's getting like not the memories yet, but the familiarity of it. What? But what was I saying? Why did I say that Rena had made ohagi before? Why would I know that when it makes her ohagi small but neat way? Huh? I had no idea where that memory was coming from. I could only assume it was an error in my brain. Mia was saying that this was her first time bringing ohagi to class. As I tilted my head in confusion, everyone started reaching inside the box. When I took out one for me and put it on the lid, stared at it closely. What was I so concerned about? Mion said that I was probably concerned that she did something to the ohagi, but it wasn't quite that. If I only didn't know how to explain it, I felt like I was forgetting something important. I'd forgotten something important, and all I had was the obligation to remember it. In front of me was nothing but a single ohagi that came from Mion's house. I was frustrated, but I really couldn't think of anything. There's no way I could remember it, because I didn't know anything.
圭一、さっきからおはぎをじっと見てどうしましたのですか？
いや、デジャブだっけ、既視感だっけ。ほら、たまにないか。初めて見るものなのにさ、過去にすでに見ていたように感じるときって。
圭一は過去にもミオンにおはぎをもらったように感じるのですか？
でも気のせいだよな。ミオン自身そんなことは覚えがないって言ってるしさ。
圭一、ありもしない記憶なんてありませんです。もし圭一が覚えているのなら、それは本当にあったことなのですよ。
Mika-chan told me something strange. Didn't usually take her random comments seriously. But ever since I saw her making those predictions in the toy store, I've been curious about her special powers. Felt like she was telling me something deep.
へへ、大予言のリカちゃまが言うと、なんだか不思議な感じがしてくるな。それってつまり、輪廻転生とかそういう話なんだろ？
In a way.
僕は宗教のことはよくわかりませんです。ただ僕が言いたいのは、圭一が知っていることならそれはあったことなのです。だからそれを思い出してほしい。気のせいだと片付けないで記憶としてほしい。僕が何を言っているのかわかりますですか？
I was a little surprised by how serious she sounded. I always thought that Rika was just an innocent girl who fooled around the time saying things like meep and nipa. But all of a sudden, she seemed like a totally different girl. Was I supposed to take it as a joke? Sarah's look on her face told me it wasn't a time for jokes, though.
リカちゃんがそう言うなら、じゃあ俺は別の世界とかでミオンにおはぎをもらったことがあるんだろうな。
バカにしませんから、全部話してください。どこでどうしてなぜミーにおはぎをもらうのですか？
Keep digging, man. Keep digging.
いつどこでどうしてなんて具体的に聞かれれば聞かれるほど、やっぱり寝ぼけてみた夢なのかもしれないな。
夢でもいいのです。もっと覚えてるはずなのです。話してください。
What was up with her? She seemed so curious about it. I didn't think this story wasn't that interesting. Her asking so much started to make me feel uncomfortable. Still, something told me that I needed to talk to Rika-chan about everything I could. Maybe she could predict my future by reading my dreams. Should tell her everything. After all, she's the shrine maiden for Oshiro-sama.
な、俺は多分学校を休んだんだよ。風邪なんだと思う。
My memory was scattered all over my brain like powder. I could see myself standing in front of the door. Man was there and someone else was standing there too. I think it was Rena.
それでミオンのやつ、お見舞いのおはぎだって言って持ってくるんだよ。今日言ってるのと同じで、おばあちゃんが作ったって言ってた気がする。
それで？
うん。それでそのおはぎを食べるんだよ。二人を返した後に。それでさ、おはぎの中からここから先は間違いない。漫画の受け売りだよ。多分昔読んだ漫画のエピソードと記憶が混同してるんだ。そんなことがあるわけない。
圭一、話を続けるのです。おはぎを食べて中から。
ああ、いや、俺が小学校の頃に読んだ怖い漫画にさ、ハンバーグの中に裁縫針が混ぜられているっていう話があったんだよ。
ビンゴ。
シオンもさっき言ってたろ。小さい頃に怖がらされるとトラウマになって残るっていうやつだよ。
I don't remember much about that comic. I think it was about this girl who had an accident and held a grudge against the person who caused the injury on her face. Why does that sound so familiar? I feel like I've heard of this before. I can't... Person caused the injury on her face. Put a needle in something. What the hell does that actually sound so fucking familiar? But I can't think of it right now. It was a little cheap plot now that I think about it. But since I was still a little kid, that comic really scared me. In one chapter, the girl casts a curse on the guy's food. He eats a burger with sewing needles inside it and he goes all grah! Something like that. It still freaked me out. The image was so grotesque and shocking to me. It grew into a kind of trauma, and for a while I searched for sewing needles in my food every time I ate something. Couldn't eat burgers for a while for that reason. But my parents got concerned and my hunger overcame the trauma. Eventually that experience disappeared into the flow time.
今でもさ、ちょっとでも怪しいシチュエーションがあると針が混じってるかもしれないなって考えちゃうんだよ。もちろんちょっと考えるだけだぜ。みんなの弁当をつっつくときいちいち中身を改めてたら失礼だもんな。針を混ぜるなんて危ないいたずらなんて絶対するわけがないって思うから、そんなくだらないトラウマなんか気にしないで食べてるんだよ。
でも今でもちょっと怖いのですね。
未だに忘れられないってことは、今でも心の中にはちょっと残ってるのかもな。
And how that small tiny fear was exported into, something huge.
では、そのミーのおはぎからは出てきたのですね。裁縫針が。
ああ、出てきた。
Inside of that Ohagi, there was a needle, just as I feared. Why was I telling her about something that was just my imagination? And when it came to see me when I took a day off from school while I was sick. That never happened, so obviously my brain was just making it up. But I spoke to Rika-chan, because she said she wouldn't make fun of me.
圭一は目の前にあるこのおはぎにも針が混じっているように感じて怖いですか？だからさっきから手をつけられない。
Where was the man and Rena were also looking at me? They were wondering why I was staring at the Ohagi without eating it.
あ、ケイちゃん、おはぎ嫌いだった？嫌いだったなら無理しなくても。
Mia was assuming that I didn't like Ohagi. She felt bad for forcing me to eat something I didn't like. In turn, I felt guilty seeing the sad expression on her face.
お姉のおはぎなんで、中に何か妙なものが仕込まれてるって疑ってるんですよ。
I immediately denied Shion's remark. No one else would understand what I'm saying. Even I didn't know.
いや、はっきり断言できるぜ。ここにあるミオンのおはぎには針なんて絶対に入っていねえ。
針？そんなのなんでおじさんが入れるわけ？
当たり前だよな。ミオンは確かにおとなしくお見舞いを持ってくるようなやつじゃない。タバスコを入れるとかそういう冗談はやるかもしれないが、間違っても針なんて混ぜない。シャレになることとならないことのけじめははっきりつけてる。だからそんなことは絶対にありえない。
I grabbed the Ohagi with my hand. As I brought it in front of my mouth, I felt the need to check it just in case. But I told myself clearly, "Hey, you wimp. When are you going to stop being scared of that stupid comic book? Mom bought these Ohagi to treat everyone in the class. There's no way she put needles inside of these. Force that stupid memory out of my brain and munch on the Ohagi."
うめえじゃねえかよ。
うまくて当然。針なんか入ってなかったでしょ。
そりゃそうだよな。本当にすまん。自分でもくだらないトラウマにずっと縛られてたって呆れるぜ。
My heart had stopped pounding and felt relieved. Next moment, I got the urge to say something to Mion. It wasn't the right thing to say, but I just felt like I had to say it.
おいミオ、
何？
おはぎうまかったぜ。
は？大きなカバンを担いできた甲斐があったよ。
I don't know why I wanted to tell her again that the yohagi was delicious, but I was glad I said that to her. I was finally released from that odd feeling.
さあさあ、さとこもケイちゃんを見習ってかぼちゃをガブリといきましょう。よく煮込んでありますから柔らかいですよ。
シオンさんのお弁当は何を食べてもかぼちゃが出てくるんですもの。私がトラウマになりましたよ。しーちゃんはさとこちゃんのかぼちゃ嫌いを直すのに頑張ってるんだね。
シオンも熱心だよね。まったく将来の妹のつもりなのかね。
By the time I finished eating my ohagi, we had returned to our usual fun lunchtime.
ケイチ、もしもですよ。
うん。もしもなんだよ。
本当に食べ物から裁縫針が出てきたらどうしますか？
そんなことあるわけないね。リカちゃん、脅そうったって無駄だぜ。
ケイチ、それでも出てくることがもしもあったなら。
Pika-chan looked at me with a serious face as I joked around. What's gotten into her, Woodway?
しつこいぜ。そんなことは絶対ありえないし、信じない。
I had just overcome my stupid trauma after all that. That's why I made that firm statement.
わかりましたです。ケイチ、しつこくてごめんなさいなのです。もしも針が出てきたら、それはきっとケイチの勘違いなのですよ。
God, I have to say, this is such a weird way of doing, like, character development. A very unique way of doing character development, in my opinion, which I think it really works. It really does show the growth of really both the player and of Kechi, of growing to understand him as Zawa, being less afraid of it, being more willing to accept the reality of it. It's such a fascinating way to do character development. I really love it. It's such an interesting way to do it.
ミーが混ぜたなんて絶対に思わないであげてくださいなのです。
ミオンを疑うなってことなんだろ。ああ、当然だぜ。俺は絶対に仲間を疑わないぞ。
I raised my fist in the air. Mika-chan finally looked happy. She smiled as if she was relieved by my words. I mean, heck, in Chapter 2, we saw a little bit of Kechi growing as a character as well. I mean, we saw him believe, in Shion that she could fight against the demon that was inside of her. Fortunately, it was a very dramatic ending, but still, during that time, Kechi believed in, Shion. It's so fascinating. The items donated for the auction were gathered at the Furude Shrine.
おお、いろいろとあるな。お中元のタオルセットとか使い古した家具あたりまでは想像してたが、 何気に結構いろいろあるじゃねえかよ。
Yeah, let's see what we got here. We got, what's this shit? An old pen, another pen. God, there's just... Why the hell are there just so many fucking pens here?
すごいね。テレビや冷蔵庫まである。それにこれまだ新品同然だね。
驚いたでしょう。その雑記関係のお店から余り物とか店頭展示品とか売り物にはならないけどまだまだ新品同然のものをいろいろと供出してもらったわけよ。型遅れ品とかをあまり気にしないならちょっとは立派なもんでしょ。
電化製品に貼り付けてある日焼けした新製品というシールがなんだか哀愁を誘いますわね。
いやいやサトコ、そういうのが逆にポイント高いんだぞ。他人の使用済みの道具よりは多少すすけてても未使用の方が気持ちよく使えるってもんだ。
最近の若者は潔癖なのです。私はあんまりそういうの気にしないから安ければこういうのもいいかな。
レナさんはさっきから家具類に興味があるみたいですね。一人暮らしでも考えてるんですか？
お父さんとお家の模様替えをしようって話になってるの。でもちゃんとした家具屋さんで買おうとすると高いからこういうリサイクル品を探してたの。
That's nice.
模様替えって家具まで買えちゃうんですの？ずいぶん大掛かりですのね。うちのお父さんね、つい最近やっと就職したの。だから新生活のための心機一転ってことで大掛かりに行きたいの。レナのお父さんは就職したのですか？
Mika-chan asked her. I was thinking the same thing. Did that mean Ma's father was unemployed until recently? He didn't even have to murder a person this time around.
お母さんと別れてから丸々1年就職しようとしなかった。レナも怒ってたんだよ。ちゃんと働きなさいって。
Lena explained that with her usual smile, so it took me a moment to realize how serious it was. If what she said was true, her parents were divorced, and she wasn't living in a very good family environment. Lena talked about it like it was nothing.
お母さんとお父さんが別れたんですの？前に住んでた町でね、離婚しちゃったの。それでお父さんとレナはひなみ沢に戻ってきたんだけどね。お父さん離婚のショックからずっと立ち直れなくて、ずっと寝たりぼーっとしたり遊んだりしてるだけだった。
離婚も失恋も相手を愛した分だけ傷も深まります。その落ち込みの深さは決して悪いものじゃないと私は思いますけど。
そんなロマンチックな話ならいいんだけど、それでお父さんいつの間にやら悪いお店に入り浸っていることが分かっちゃったの。ある日預金通帳を見てひどい金遣いにびっくり。
レナのお母さんはさ、結構有名なデザイナーさんだったらしくてさ、相当稼いでたらしいんだよね。そのおかげでだいぶたくさんの慰謝料をもらってたらしい。
そのせいでお父さんは働かなくても生活できちゃったんだよね。それが立ち直りを遅れさせちゃった原因の一つかもしれない。
それは一理あるな。お金に余裕がなかったら働かざるを得ない。そうすりゃ忙しくなって落ち込んでる暇なんかなくなるもんな。
朝起きて登校や出勤をして夕方に帰ってきて食事して寝るっていう当たり前の生活習慣は乱れると結構堕落するもんです。 私も学園から抜け出してきた後、しばらく無職な生活をしてたことありますからよくわかります。
お家に引きこもって一人でうじうじしているのが一番いけませんです。そうだね、リカちゃんの言う通りだったんだよ。だからレナね、お父さんときっぱり話をしたの。家長としての責任とか親としての自立とか、そういう話を互いに正座しながら一晩みっちりと。
レナって普段はチャラけてるけど、ここ一番ではきっちりしてるからな。親が相手でもきっちりってのはさすがだぜ。
そんなことないよ。レナも最初はショックだったよ。だってお父さん、なんだか知らない女の人に貢いでるっぽかったんだもん。娘としてはショックだよ。それでレナはどうしたのですか？
Yeah, what did you do?
うん。一人で悩んでるうちは全然ダメ。悪いことばかり考えちゃって。だからみーちゃんに打ち明けて相談してみたの。
私は話を聞いて相槌を打っただけだよ。レナが自分で考えをきっちり整理して父親とちゃんと話をするべきだって結論したんだよ。相談なんてとんでもない。
いや、そういうのは大事だろう。人に話すことで悩みってのは結構冷静に考えられるもんだしな。
Sure.
そういうもんですかね。相談する程度で解決する悩みならその程度だったってことじゃないんですか？
そんなことないよ、しーちゃん。私もみーちゃんと話をするまでは相手の女の人を闇討ちしようとか物騒なことしか思いつかなかったもん。でもよくよく考えてみればそんなの全然最善の解決策じゃない。まず話し合うことから始めないとね。それでレナは話し合ってどうしたのですか？うん。お父さんがグダグダしてるのはお金のせいだってことになってね。口座を別の銀行に移し替えて通帳と印鑑はレナが預かることになった。だからお父さんは毎月私からお小遣いをもらってるんだよ。なんだかレナさんのお家は親と子が逆転してしまってますわね。
Everyone else laughed along with Sadako. I wasn't sure if I should laugh, but I saw Lena laughing too.
結局さ、むやみやたらな大金がレナのお父さんを堕落させてたわけさ。金銭感覚が戻れば変なお店にも行かなくなるし、ちゃんと働かなくちゃいけないって気にもなるからね。
でもあれはいいタイミングだった。お父さん、知らない女の人のマンションの頭金を払おうとしている矢先だったの。危ないところだった。
レナが笑顔で話す割にはよくよく聞いてみると随分ヘビーな話だな。一歩間違えば家庭崩壊だったんだよな。
そうだね。もしあの時私がみーちゃんに相談しなくてうじうじと今日を迎えていたら今頃きっと。
Yeah, I feel like this game truly is a psychological horror. Sorry. This game is a psychological horror. In terms of the brain is the most important thing, most important organ. But at the same time, your brain's an asshole, alright? Your brain is an asshole because it thinks too much. Thinks about lots of different things, and you keep thinking and thinking and thinking, and yeah, I feel like it's been really showcased well in these this game, that that festering in problems, you know, you yourself trying to find out a solution on your own, of figuring out what to do, you know. Perfect examples, you know, Kechi, Rana, and Shion, you know. Find out some type of conclusion they wanted to get to, some type of answer. You know, with Shion, it was the main family. It was the three families. For Rana, it was this woman that was wooing her. It was Rina that was wooing her wife. For Kechi, it was the village itself, or this organization that was taking over it. And it's like, once you assume something, once your brain decides this one thing is truth, it runs with it. It just keeps running with it. And once it's accepted that truth, you begin to believe more and more ridiculous things you wouldn't have believed beforehand, before you've accepted something as the truth in your own head. You know, very much exemplified in chapter 6. And it's like, sometimes you just gotta just like talk to somebody, you know. You just gotta talk about someone to like get a, you know, a different person's, you know, opinion on it. Yes, you know, first of all, it's nice to get it off your chest, off your brain. So you know, and you know, talk to someone that has no involvement in it, because especially emotional situations, your brain gets wrapped up in all kinds of different emotions, you know, of anger, sadness, whatever, because, you know, it's your own brain. Like, it's the same thing that's giving you those emotions that you react to event or whatever the problem is in your life. And it's nice to talk with someone that doesn't have that emotional investment in it. I mean, there's a reason why, and, you know, like police investigations, they don't get a detective that's involved in it, because that fucks up with their train of thought, that fucks up, you know, their emotional investment in the case. And it's like, it's just just talk to somebody, you know. Like, it's just nice to just talk to people. I mean, I fucking love talking to people. I love talking to people. I mean, I've fucking listened to people for a long ass time. I've listened to a lot of different people. You know, I mean, hell, that's why I can talk this shittily. Talk this well. I mean, for fuck's sake, this entire playthrough is just me talking over this damn game. But, you know, it's so interesting, because I've listened to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people have, you know, said their own problems and all that. And, you know, and it's, you know, sometimes it's just gratifying for someone to just be talking to somebody that's just there, you know. Like, sure, they can give their, you know, opinions if the person wants it, but it's just nice to be talking to another person, even though they, you know, have no involvement in the thing they're dealing with. It's just, it's very important to just, you know, just talk to people. I mean, we're social creatures. Just talk to people. Anyway.
その女の人を殺そうなんて考えていたかもしれない。
Everyone laughed at hearing such a dangerous thing come out of Rana's mouth. Rana laughed too, but I saw something serious in her eyes. It was probably true that she once thought about murdering that lady. She seduced Rana's father so that she could get the money out of him. Knowing that how short-tempered I am, I might do the same if that happened to me. I think she made the right decision on talking to me instead of being irrational.
偉いよな。 家族の問題なんて恥ずかしくてなかなか話せるもんじゃないぜ。
Yeah, it's hard.
そうだよね。みーちゃんに打ち明けようと踏ん切りをつけるにはレナもちょっと時間が必要だった。決め手になったのは夢なの。
One dream.
夢ですか？うん。あの頃は布団の中でいつも一人悩んでた。だからきっと夢の中でまで私は悩んでたんだと思うの。
In my dream, I thought about what would happen to me if I didn't do anything. I don't know if what I saw was my imagination or a prediction of the future.
夢の中の未来ではお父さんはその知らない女の人ともっともっと仲良くなってて、とうとうお家にまで連れ込むようになってるの。
My dad and I don't smoke, but there was an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room was now hers. In the bathroom, there was a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. It was an unusual sight.
それはとても嫌な、いえ、辛いシチュエーションですわね。
Sadako never told me, but I'd heard that she also lost her parents. I'd heard that she went through tough times when she was taken in by her aunt and uncle. Someone told me about that once. Sadako seemed to understand Wena's pain very well.
うん。それはとても辛いシチュエーション。私は家に居場所がなくなってだんだんと追い詰められていくの。それでちょっとした些細なきっかけで私はその女を殺してしまう。
夢にしては嫌に生々しい展開ですね。それで？
そしたらもう私は人殺しなんだよね。誰にも殺しのことを知られたくないって怯えて怖がって誰も信用できなくなって、毎日毎日を死体を埋めた場所で過ごすの。その場を離れたら誰かに死体を見つけられちゃうような気がして、いつまでもいつまでも。
嫌な未来だな。夢の中だけで済んでよかったと思うぜ。
あれは夢だったのかな。私はね、あれはきっとそのまま何もしないでいたらきっと迎えた未来なんじゃないかなって思うの。だから翌朝目が覚めた時、とても怖くて震えが止まらなかった。私とお父さんの家なのに知らない香水の匂いがするような気さえした。そしてその夢が現実になるのが来年なのか来月なのか、ひょっとしたら明日なのではないかとどんどん怖くなったの。そこまで追い詰められたらもうみーちゃんに打ち明けるのにためらいはなかったね。
レナがものすごい神妙な顔で内緒の相談があるなんて言ってきた時は、おじさんはてっきり変な検査薬で陽性でも出ちゃったんじゃないかと真面目に思ったよ。まあ実際今だから笑い話だけど、当時は本当に笑えなかったね。
みーちゃんは本当に頼りになったよ。落ち着いて私の話を聞いてくれて、現実的な解決の糸口を探ってくれた。それでやっぱり親子でちゃんと話さないとダメだっていう当たり前の到達点にたどり着いたってわけ。それは夢ではなかったかもしれませんですよ。そうだね。ただの夢じゃなかったのかもしれないね。
もしその夢を見なかったらレナはミオンに打ち明けなかった可能性もあるもんな。レナの人生を決めた重要な夢だぜ。
夢か。 あんたも夢を見るんだ。へえ。
Shion had said something in a small voice. Only Mion picked up on what it was. I don't know what she said, but based on Mion's reaction, she must have said something serious. By the way, Shion usually went to school in Okayama. However, she's been coming to the school in Himizawa lately. I don't know why she chose to come this far, but she seemed to be having fun taking care of Sadako. I had no idea what brought Shion and Sadako together. Wait, weren't they on bad terms once? Huh? Is that true? Are they always that close or not? Huh?
だから思ったの。人と相談するのはとても大事。
Interesting. Very interesting. Seems like they're remembering more and more. We'll have fun in a normal way. We'll laugh together in a normal way. We'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other.
仲間はただの遊び友達じゃない。本当に大切なことを打ち明けられる重要な存在なんだって。そんな当たり前のことに気づいたの。
そうだな。だとしたらレナにとっては親子の問題を解決しただけでなく、仲間の重要さにも気づけたわけなんだな。
うん。
I know the whole power friendship trope has been done to death in media. But I feel like in this game it earned that. You know? Like it really earned that power friendship type of thing. Sure, a lot of people are sick of it. The reason why it's a trope is because it's fucking true. You know, just because something is repeated a lot, you know, be it morals, be it whatever else, doesn't diminish the fact that, you know, it's true. And this game is able to do that message of, you know, the power of friendship so well, because we are inside the heads of these characters and we see what happens to them when they don't trust their friends. They don't believe in them. We've seen those outcomes, you know, happen before us. It's like it really does feel like this game has earned the right to use the power of friendship trope, because it handles it in such a mature way, you know, of like, you know, friends are there, you know, you can talk to them, you know, and yes, you will doubt them sometimes, yes, you will have doubts about a lot of things, but, you know, you can still trust them because they're people you associate with. They're people you can trust, and if the friendship is really deep, you can even tell them about problems you're having. And it's just, it's been done to death, yes, but it's just such an important message that this game has earned.
だから私も誰かが悩みを持ったら相談に乗りたいし、助けたい。絶対に力になりたい。だから私が打ち明けるに足る仲間だと信じてほしい。とても大切なことをレナが言っていますです。
Mika-chan is right. They all nodded at her without joking around. A moment later, we heard someone locking the door. We were all surprised. The person didn't mean to lock the door. She must have locked it by accident, not knowing it was already open. She turned the knob, thinking that it was now unlocked.
あれ？誰か中におった？
The lady knocked on the door. Could hear several other people outside the door. Mian replied in a loud voice and walked towards the door. I heard her greeting the ladies from the town council.
ちょっとみんな手を貸してくれる？
なんだなんだ、どうした？
I immediately saw why Mian called us over. The people from the village committee had brought another donation. It was an old cupboard. We all helped carry it inside the room. As I walked through the door, I realized that Higurashi was starting to cry, taking over from the cicadas.
ああ、前原くん。あんた叩き売りの司会を引き受けてくれたんね。もうみんながあんたしか適任がいないんって太鼓判を押すんよ。だからおばさん、前原くんの司会が楽しみで楽しみで。
あ、いやせいぜい頑張りますので、あまり期待しないでくれると嬉しいです。
そんなこと言っちゃって。今日ここに来たのも売り物を吟味して売り文句を考えておきたいからなんですよ。当日は期待しましょう。
したら叩き売りはちゃんと来ないかんね。
The other lady smiled and told me they were looking forward to it. It hadn't been that long since I moved to this village, but even these people offered me a position of huge responsibility during the festival. So you could say that they've accepted me as a member of this village. I got so much trouble where I lived before that I couldn't even go outside. But they're accepting me as a member of the village? I was so happy. I felt bad I still hadn't learned all of their names. I was going to do my best to entertain the villagers who were supporting me.
ミオンちゃんはどうする？まだ残るんかいね。
ああ、いや、もう私たちも帰ります。もういいよね、ケイちゃん。
まあ雰囲気さえつかめりゃあとは出たとこ勝負だ。なるようになるだろう。
綿流しには興味ないんだけど、ケイちゃんの司会は見たいな。私も来ようかな。
シオンさんもぜひいらっしゃいませ。みんなで一緒に騒ぐのは楽しいですわよ。
私は反対。シオンは沖宮に住んでるんだから、沖宮の祭りにでも行っちゃえ。
レナはシーちゃんが来るの賛成。シーちゃんが来るとミーちゃんが面白くなる。では多数決により C の参加は決定なのですよ。
というわけです、お姉。当日は私のせいでお姉の地味っぷりが露呈しちゃうかもしれませんけど、まあ仲良くしてくださいね。シオン嫌い、シオン嫌い、シオン嫌い。
Whatever Mion says, I know they're actually close. The more Mion tried to refuse her, the more it was obvious how close they really were.
じゃあでよ。忘れ物とかない？明かり消すよ。
We made sure that we didn't leave anything inside and left the room. I looked around the shrine grounds while Mion locked the door. This big place will be filled with people on the day of Higurashi.
このだだっ広い境内がお祭り一色になるんだよな。なんだか全然想像がつかないぜ。すっげえ楽しみだ。
模擬店とかがいっぱい並んで人もものすごいたくさん来るんだよ。きっとケイイチくんもびっくりするかな年に一度なんてケチなことを言わず季節の旅にやってくれてもいいんですのにね。
そういや、季節の旅に来る人はいたね。はい、そんな人いましたっけ？
あ、それは俺もわかるぞ。
More like a guy who dies every season.
この間会ったカメラマン風の人だろ。 名前はなんて言ったっけ？
圭一は富武を知っていますのですか？
そうそう、富武さんだったな。いや、先日の帰り道で会ってさ、ミオンとレナに教えてもらっただけだよ。妙にたくましい体つきの割に腰の低い感じのおっさん。季節のたびにひなみ沢に来てる熱心な旅行写真家なんだろ？
自称でございますけどね。
あの人が来ると今年ももう綿流しだなーって気がするよ。それで綿流しが終わると本格的に夏が始まるんだよね。
そうだね。でも今年は暑くなるのが早いからもうセミが鳴いてるけどね。異常気象とかテレビで言ってますわね。温暖化がどうしたこうしたとよく聞きますわ。
What is global warming? We don't gotta worry about that for another 20 years.
暑い夏、大いに結構じゃねえか。夏が涼しかったらなんだかつまらないぞ。
そうですね。季節通りの気候の方が気分がいいもんです。冷夏や暖冬はなんだか損した気になります。夏に負けないくらいこの夏の私たちも熱くいこう。綿流し祭何人だ？綿流し祭六強爆闘だね。
今年の綿流しもみんなで一緒に楽しく過ごせますですよ。そうだね。楽しく過ごせるといいね。
お、レナは知らねえな。リカちゃんのは希望的憶測じゃねえんだぜ。本当の予言なんだぜ。だからリカちゃんが当日は楽しくなるって言ったら絶対にそうなる。だってこれは運命なんだからな。そうだろリカちゃん。はい、
運命なのですよ。
Yep. Rika-chan smiled with a nipa. Her smile assured me that the day of Higurashi was going to be a great one for us.
当日さ、すぐにオークションってわけじゃねえんだろ？
うん。始まるのは奉納演舞の一つ前だから、夕方からならみんなで一緒に遊ぶ時間は十分にあるよ。
そうですわよね。初めてのお祭りなのに一緒に遊べないなんて気の毒ですもの。
Well, technically my seventh, but...
ケイちゃんの叩き売りを楽しんだ後はリカちゃまの奉納演舞ですか。なかなかいいじゃないですか。
ということは僕は圭一の司会を最後まで見られず途中で演舞の準備に行かなくてはならないのです。
へえ、リカちゃんも出番があるのか。演舞ってなんだ？やっぱり古出神社の巫女さんだから何か神事でもやるわけか？
綿流しの名の通りお布団の綿を清める演舞と儀式があるの。リカちゃんがとっても頑張るから圭一くんもいっぱい応援してあげてね。それでねリカちゃんが巫女さん装束で重い細工をフラフラしながら振るうのがね、とっても可愛いんだよ。お持ち帰り。
There goes her nose. I've never seen a whale shrine maiden before. Sure, Rika-chan will look adorable. As we get more and more forward to the Higurashi festival. Lena, Mia, Chion, Sadako, Rika-chan, and I. 6 of us will definitely have a great time there. How many more days did we have? Never been this excited about a festival in my life. Darkness. Kind of foreboding ending. Oh, we're going. Okay. Sadako's snowing sounded so settled then. I stood by the window.
さとこ
Could tell that she was sound asleep.
いびきが可愛いのですよ
Hanyu laughs and tries to poke Sadako's nose. I looked up at the sky. Nothing was different about the moon, but the moonlight seemed warmer than usual to me.
リカは機嫌がいいようなのですうん確かにそうかもしれない
I realized it only after Hanyu pointed it out. It really was in a very good mood. Otherwise, I wouldn't be enjoying this view of the sky and the human night like this. I felt like bringing a toast to the moon. As I rooted around the back of the closet, Hanyu spoke to me, sounding noticeably upset.
リカお酒はダメなのですよいいじゃない今夜くらい
Hanyu doesn't like alcohol. If I drink, Hanyu will also taste it, so she always complains when I try to drink. That's why I usually don't drink only when Hanyu is far away from me. Of course, she'll know right away when I do, but it's too late by then.
ダメですダメですリカにはワインは早いのですリカは私よリカが飲みたいものはリカが決めるわダメです僕はワインが嫌いなのです
I don't have a problem, Hanyu, okay? It's just a little bit of drinking.
ダメですダメダメ今日は喧嘩はなしだってばわかったわじゃああんたにも飲みやすいように甘いそれならいいでしょワインのあの匂いが嫌いなのですだからダメダメ
Hanyu jumped around and complained. She was making a lot of noise right where Sadako was sleeping.
やめなさいさとこが起きちゃうでしょ残念でしたなのです僕はリカ以外には見えないし聞こえませんからいくらトタンバタンしてもリカにしか聞こえないのですあったんべーははあんたはたまに身の程をわきまえないわね
I went to the refrigerator and took out a pack of orange juice and the spicy kimchi I typically use for punishment.
はい問題私がおつまみに激辛キムチをいっぱい食べてオレンジジュースで割った甘いワインを飲んで一緒に月を楽しむのとどっちがいい
Hanyu clenched her lips while jumping up and down, ready to burst into tears. She should be disciplined for being that noisy, but she never has been since I'm the only one who can hear her. Besides, she's like air, so I can't even give her a spanking. Hanyu loves sweets, but she really hates spicy food.
いいか飛び跳ねるのをおやめなさいませ
Sadako woke up suddenly and had to hide my glass in a hurry. Sadako doesn't know about my drinking habit.
今何時だと思ってるんですの
She fell asleep again after speaking.
ほらあんたのドタンバタンがうるさいって注意されたわよこの安眠妨害
Just like I'm the only one who can see her, I'm usually the only person who can hear the noise she makes. However, that's not the case all the time. Hanyu does exist in this world. Sometimes people can actually hear and feel her existence. Doesn't happen too often. Most people think that they just heard some random noise. Based on my experience, people who are in a critical condition like Sadako tend to hear more often. When I say critical condition, I mean who've reached the level 4 stage, as Iri would describe it. At that stage, there's nothing that can be done anymore. They will feel the existence and hear the noise of someone that they can't see. That would really mess with their mind. Hanyu stopped jumping up and down and gave up as I started pouring alcohol into my glass. Now that's interesting. Hanyu jumping up and down, and Sadako is able to hear it. What does that remind me of? Oh yeah, Chapter 2, The Damned Storehouse. Was the reason why only Shion and Tomoki could hear? I'm just gonna guess. It was goddamn Hanyu. No, we could, well, Hanyu doesn't really have to be like right next to Rika. So it is possible that the noise Shion and Tomoki heard in the ritual storehouse was from Hanyu. But that means they also have this level 4 condition? That makes sense for Shion, because she was already gonna a bit cuckoo with Satoshi and all that. But why Tomoki? That's the question. I'm so certain in this theory, I'm already walking in as fact. But it just makes way too much damn sense. It makes sense for Shion, but like, why would Tomoki be in this level 4 stage of like critical mental condition or whatever this damn like disease that Sadako has? I mean, hell, we don't even know what the hell the effects of it are. All we know is that it's... Yeah, we don't even know the exact effects of this disease Iri has been talking about with Sadako that she has. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to be mean to Hanyu. In fact, I always wished she would enjoy it too. Poured only a little bit of wine inside the glass and diluted it with plenty of orange juice. In fact, this cocktail is pretty much just juice. I also put in some crushed ice inside the glass. With that, it looked like a real cocktail they serve at the bar.
Hora, Hanyu. これくらいの薄さなら平気でしょ?
They looked at the edge of the glass to see how she'd react.
このくらいなら平気なのです。そう。じゃあ今夜はこの濃さにするわ。もう怖がらないで。辛いのはしまうわ。
Hanyu has been scared of that kimchi punishment for a while, so I put it back inside the refrigerator. She seemed relieved. I took the glass and headed back to the window. There was no breeze, but it seemed a little bit cooler.
ねえ、Hanyu。あなたも今回は何かが違うって感じてる？圭一やレナの話ですか？それから多分みんな過去の世界をごくわずかだけど記憶してる。そしてそれを生かして致命的な失敗を避けている。個々にはそう珍しいことではないと思いますです。でも圭一やレナ、シオンなどみんながみんな同時にそうなることは僕もとても珍しいことだと思いますのです。私はよく自分の運命をすごろくに例えるんだけど、これは3つ振ったサイコロがみんな6だったような、そう僕たちの望む未来に最も近い位置からのスタートという意味では リカのその例えは正しいと思いますのです。でもこれはリカが期待するような意味の奇跡ではありませんですよ。
I know what she was trying to say. She was telling me not to expect too much. The die is designated to have 6 sides. It's not a miracle if I roll it and get a 6. A true miracle is when I roll it once but get a 10, just like what happened with Kechi, my previous wife. In other words, a miracle is something that would normally never happen. Kechi gave the doll to me when I spoke with her father, and Shion started taking care of Sadako after remembering her promises to Satoshi. That was all because they had those intentions somewhere in their hearts. It was only a side of their die that was engraved there already. But still, even if you couldn't call 3 dice rolling this well a miracle, it didn't mean good fortune.
リカが頑張ろうという強い意志を見せたので、天の神様が祝福しているのに違いないのです。
あんたも神様じゃなかったの？
リカは僕をいじめる時だけ神様扱いしますです。
冗談よ。お願いだからいじけないで。そんなわけだから今夜はとても機嫌がいいのよ。
I lifted up the glass of orange wine and gave a toast to the moon. It tasted like nothing but sweet orange juice. Nice purple orange juice. It was funny to see Hanyu making a happy face as I took a sip.
今度こそ昭和58年の死の運命から逃れられるのでしょうか。
逃れることがゴールのすごろくなのだとしたら、これほど幸先のいいスタートはもう二度とないかもしれない。
No matter how hard I tried to prevent things from happening, there are some things I could never control. It's such a huge letdown when that happens. Even after trying so hard, something renders my efforts infertile. I'd probably been wasting my time for so long because I was trying to escape from that pain. For the first time in my life, then, I've been blessed with a favorable situation. Everything seems perfect in this world. There's no reason for me to be depressed. It's like the weather is perfect and the wind is blowing in just the right way. If I fail to put my ship out to sea, there's nothing to pin the blame on. I understood what Hanyu was trying to say with the concerned look on her face. If I didn't escape my death under this fortunate situation, I'd have to accept that my fate wasn't something that could be changed. This is an ideal world where all my friends overcame their problems. I was always in a depressing world, but this time all the pieces of the puzzle matched. If I couldn't change my fate in this world, then it was proof that I couldn't change it in any world. That was the ending I've been afraid of for a long time. The loss of hope, and the death of my soul. Of the pair of us, I was probably the only one who would die. Hanyu will most likely remain there even if my spirit disappears. She must be afraid of being alone after I lose myself. That's why she's telling me not to expect too much. I bit down on the ice chip inside my mouth. It was pleasantly cold.
羽生、何度も繰り返した話で申し訳ないんだけど、また付き合ってほしいの。
いいのですよ。どうしてリカが必ず昭和58年に殺されるかですね。
うん。強い意志は強い運命を生み出す。ということは、私が昭和58年に必ず殺されるのは、相当な強い意志に基づいているということになる。
おそらくそうだと思いますです。
フルでリカを殺して
強い意志があるのですから、おそらくは明白な動機があるものと思いますです。
自分で言うのも嫌だけど、 フルでリカは村人みんなに好かれていると思う。一般的な村人に殺害動機があるとは思えない。
少なくともこの村に住まう人間である以上、リカに好意を抱かない人間はいないはずなのです。
あんたのおかげでね。
あうあうあう。
Thanks to you.
今のは感謝の言葉よ。まあいいわ。長いこと疑ってきた園崎本家も違った。となると、私を殺したい人間や勢力が思いつかない。
むしろリカにとっては世界中のどこよりもこの村にいるのが安全なはずなのです。
そうね。世界中のどこよりもここが安全なはずなの。私を殺そうとする人間がいるどころか、私を守ろうという人間がいるはずなのに。
It's ironic. For a long time, I've been refusing help from all those people who were trying to keep me safe.
リカ、やはり入江たちを頼るのはどうですか？
People in this village love and cherish me, but no matter what, they never save me when I try to escape the fate of my death. I spoke to several villagers in the past, but they never believed me, and none of them saved me in the end. They probably didn't believe me because I had no idea who was trying to kill me, or what their motive was. If I could explain that, people might be more accepting of my story. But there's nothing I can do about that. No one would believe a little girl saying that she's going to be killed without rhyme or reason. All they think of me is the reincarnation of Osho-sama, the leader of the Furude family. They do cherish me, but they won't protect me with their lives. On the other hand, Iri and his people are totally different. They realize how special I am, and they would try to make sure that nothing happens to me. If I confessed to them that my life was in danger, I'm sure they would do their best to prevent it. They have all the means to protect me from a violent end. However, none of it really worked in the past. It's not that they're unreliable. It's because Takano, the one responsible for protecting me, also gets killed on the same day every time. In other words, asking her for help is completely useless. She's very reliable, but she also isn't. It's ironic that I'm the only person who knows the reason why they can never save me.
それが狙いなのかしら。富武と高野を殺し、私を守る者を排除して、それから殺す。
確かに高野たちの死はリカの死と密接に関係する先触れなのです。
同じ運命なら、いや、同じ犯人が同じ目的でやっている犯行なら、あの二人の死をなんとか覆すことで、私の運命もまた覆せるんじゃないかしら。
リカは多分覚えていませんですが、ずいぶん前にもそう言って実行したことがありましたです。
The deaths of Takano and Tomoki mean the loss of my protection. Because the two of them died, the suspect is able to kill me. That's why I've tried to prevent their deaths somehow. But they never believed me. I tried so hard to persuade them, but they didn't listen. I eventually gave up and just thought of their deaths as fated to happen. It's the same hopeless feeling I used to have towards my parents when I was able to go farther back in time. When I found out death was inevitable, I lost interest in them. After all of that time had passed, I forgot how hard I used to try to prevent my parents' deaths.
それにリカは入江たちのことは嫌ってると思いましたです。
まあね、連中は明らかに私たちをモルモットだと思ってるし。
I support them so I can help Sadako, but it disgusts me to think they're only using me as a test subject. I've been resenting Ire for that reason. Still, I should try to get closer to him. After all, he's the only person who understands how important I am. He's the main person I should be talking to, and he has the most potential for protecting me. I can't avoid seeking help for him just because I don't like him. I asked him for help several times before, but Tomoki and Takano get murdered even so, and it ruins everything. After their deaths, Ire panics and becomes useless. That's why I gave up on seeking help from him. But in this world, I've been blessed with a positive situation. I will never have as lucky as a start as this again. This is the best chance I'll ever get, so I should give it my best shot. I really don't like him at all. But he's not a bad person. I should respect him more. He's serious about helping Sadako, and he's not much of a mad scientist as I'm inclined to think. Takano's a strange person too, but she's also someone who can give me support. But she thinks I'm only her guinea pig. That's why I don't really want her help. Tomoki is more reliable than Takano, but the biggest problem is that he only visits this village a few times a year. On top of that, he always dies before I get killed, so he can never help me. However, they really are the people I should be talking to. If I can change the fate of their deaths, they should be able to save me from my own. It's possible that the only reason I lived until 1983 was because of their effort.
高野たちに接触して彼らを救えるようまた努力してみようと思うの。あ、大丈夫よ。どうせ殺されると思ってるから変に期待してない。だから期待を裏切られても全然平気よ。
リカがひどいことを言ってますのです。
I chuckled at her comment.
もし死の運命から逃れられれば、私の運命に対して大きな影響を与えてくれるのは間違いない。そして今回はそれでも二人が殺されるのを前提に話をしてみようと思うの。つまり二人が殺された後、私にも及ぶだろう危害への警護についてちゃんとそういう指示を出してくれれば、高野たちの死後も私の身辺は強固に警備されているかもしれない。
The protection they provide is probably the highest standard of security I could hope for. Yet I lose that the moment Tomoki and Takano die, so I never have their protection after one Higurashi. And therefore I get killed too. In other words, that's it. Whoever possesses the strong will to kill me actually just wants me dead. Yet so long as those two are alive, there's tight security all around Himizawa that prevents the killer from getting to me. So, to kill me, they must first kill Tomoki and Takano, the heart of that security. Then my protection falls away, leaving me exposed.
リズムで考えれば考えるほど、二人の運命と私の運命はつながっているのね。そうやって考えると、あの二人を見殺しにした時点で、私の運命は逃れられないものに決まってしまうのかもしれない。
ならリカのすべきことはもう明らかなのです。
そうね。自分の命より先にあの二人の命を救う方が先決ってことね。
It's kind of ironic. I gave up on them because I was more determined to save my own life. But I finally came to the conclusion that I have to help them first before helping myself. But there's something I still don't understand. Someone with convictions this strong is trying to kill me for some equally strong motive. Yet no matter how often I debate it, I can't think of anyone who'd benefit from my death. Not only that, but there should only be people who want to protect me. Especially since they would do anything to protect me in the present environment. They even eliminated my mother. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care about her anymore. I never got along with her, and she's the only one who took my father's death the wrong way, making a huge deal out of it like she did. She got what she deserved. I'm a valuable guinea pig for them, and I can be a bomb too. No one benefits from making me explode. There's only disaster awaiting them if that happens. Lots of people will be lost, and nobody would gain anything from that. According to Takano, my death would be like the eruption of a volcano in the middle of the village. I'm not interested in what happens after my death, but they're really concerned about it. What? So, there's something... Ire and Takano are using Rika as a guinea pig for what? What exactly? And what the hell is this, the disease Sadako has? We're dancing around this damn question, and I want an answer, damn it! They're watching me every day to ensure that I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner of a block of tofu and die. It's fair to say that they're here in order to prevent the eruption from happening. Well, it's true, yeah. I'd be suspicious of them if they were going to benefit in some way from my death. But as everyone knows, that can't possibly be the case. My death would create nothing but a disaster. They're benefiting me from my being alive right now.
損得の問題ではなく、何かの怨恨かもしれないとは随分思ったわよね。私個人じゃなくて、フルデ家に対する恨みみたいなものが伝統的に御三家とかに残ってたりして、私が爆弾だと知らないからこそ殺したと。
That's why I was suspicious of the three families, especially the Sonozaki family. However, after observing them in numerous worlds, I feel that's not the case. I felt that way in several lives, but it always had something to do with that incident with catching the doll. It's clear that there's nothing going on between the Sonozaki family and mine.
あとは盲信的な何者かなのです。
If it's not about profit or a grudge, it might be someone who's secretly a deranged cultist. We've already had a series of murders 4 years in a row under the name of Oshiro-sama's curse. Timing-wise, it would somewhat interesting if I, the reincarnation of Oshiro-sama, was killed on the 5th year. I couldn't stand to be murdered for such a whimsical reason, but such a motive actually seemed fitting. Ironically, I would have to suspect Takano if that's the case. She's well known for being a eccentric researcher of local histories. She's only interested in the village's history because she already knows who I am. She's doing the research based on the notion that I'm important, so she should have no reason to kill me. She would desire to keep me close to her as a research sample. It's hard to believe that she would kill her favorite toy. She might be willing to kill someone who would try to harm her little toy, though.
まあ、いくら考えてもわからないし、どうでもいいことかもしれないわね。誰かが私を必ず殺す。その事実から逃れられれば、他はとりあえずどうでもいいんだから。
No, I take that back. I want to escape my deadly fate, but I also want all my friends to be happy. And I want the rest of my life to be happy too. I don't want to hide myself in the forest forever just to get away from my murderer. In fact, I've tried that once before, but I still met with the same ending. Living in the forest was a horrible experience. I think I was able to survive until July that time. That might be the longest I ever lived. I smiled bitterly and finished off the rest of the orange wine in the glass. I'd have to talk to Ire again. I don't like him, but his people are my only hope.
もういい時間ね。床に戻らないと明日が辛いわ。僕もそう思いますです。おやすみなさいなのですよ。
I lay down and closed my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep right away. Suddenly I remembered Rena's words out of nowhere. It was no good when I was thinking about it on my own. I wasn't thinking about it on my own. I was talking it out with Hanyu. Now I know. It's important to talk to other people. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally realized that. After I asked Takano for help, should I also talk to Kechi? I've told him before in my previous lives, but he never believed me then. Interesting. Takano and Tomoki serve as guards for Rana, or Rika. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Who done it? Who done it indeed? It's very interesting. It seems like Ire is investigating Rika because of something. Maybe because she's the what was it? The 7th generation girl, you know, the reincarnation of Oshiro-sama. Maybe there's actually something in her, like, blood or whatever that makes her, like, different. Which is very interesting. So, wow. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put it down in the comments below. Want to check out the Discord server I hang out in or my Twitter? Check the description below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!